isiNgisi, i-FAL, i-Physical Science, i-Geography, ezobuchwepheshe, i-Computer Applications Technology, kanye namaklasi e-Learner Wellness, okungukuzilolonga ngokomqondo kanye nomzimba. Lezi zifundo zethulwa nsuku zonke kusukela ngoMsombuluko kuya ngoLwesihlanu, kuqala ngehora lesi-4 kuya kwelesihlanu, u-4 kuya ku-5 ntambama, nangoMgqibelo kusukela ligamanxe ihora lesi-8, 8:30, kuze kugamanxe ihora lokuqala emini, 1:30. Zithameleni futhi lezi zifundo emsakazweni Ukhozi FM njalo ngoLwesine kusukela ngo-9 kuya ku-10 ebusuku. Ningangena ekhasini lethu lika-Facebook elithi Go Digital SA_movement noma kwi-YouTube uthi Go Digital SA Foundation. Siyethemba nizolijabulela lolu hlelo oluhlose ukunifundisa futhi lulekelele kulokho enikufunda ezikoleni zenu. Luthokozeleni-ke lolu hlelo, nimeme nabo bonke abanye abafundi bebanga le-12, grade 12, ukuze nabo bazuze kulo futhi nonke nicijeleke ukuphumelela kwizivivinyo zenu zokuphela konyaka.
Sanibonani grade 12, igama lami nguMuzo kaMthembu, ithutha geography. Namhlanje sizobe sibheke itopic ebizwa nge-local climate, but sizothinta ama-valley climate nama-city climate. Mase si-recap nje ukuthi senza ini last week nani grade 12. Sasenza i-tropical cyclone ne-mid-latitude cyclone. La sabheka khona ama-characteristics i-mid-latitude cyclone, sabheka ama-characteristics tropical cyclone, sabheka ukuthi adevelopha kephi and aya kephi and adevelopha kumaphi ama-belts, ama-pressure belts. So namhlanje umsebenzi wami nani grade 12 ukubheka i-local climate, ukuthi sichaza ukuthini masithi local climate. Phela sibheka i-climate yala around la ehlala ngakhona nje indawo esizaziyo. Size sibheke yonke i-climate mhlambe of i-South Africa, but sibheka nje a specific place la le ndawo esidila ngayo grade 12. Njengamanje kuzomela nje grade 12 sizame-ke manje ukuthi sibheke ukuthi i-value konje, i-value yini i-value kahle kahle, then yini i-city. So i-valley ila kuney'ntaba eziwu-2 ngapha nangapha esayidini, so in between tabe kunama-buildings, tabe kunama-factories. Bese ukuthi i-city-ke i-urban area, indawo esuke yakhiwe, esuke i-urbanized, inama-buildings amaningi kuhlala khona abantu. Now grade 12 umsebenzi wethu-ke namhlanje sizobheka i-local climate. Asibheke grade 12 ukuthi what do we mean about i-valley climate. I-valley climate njengoba kade sengishilo ekuqaleni, it's okay, it's a local scale and it's usually last for ama-hours amancane nje. So kule section esikuyona-ke sizobheka, sizofocusa kakhulu kuma-types of winds, kuyi-anabatic wind ne-katabatic wind. Sibheke nes-aspects esiye siyibize ka-grade 12 nge-slope aspects. Then siphinde futhi sibheke ne-city climate. Now asibheke ukuthi sichaza ukuthini uma sithi i-anabatic and i-katabatic. Now i-structure of i-valley and i-lento and i-heating and cooling that occurs during the day ize ilidele kuma-anabatic and ama-katabatic winds to occur. It's important-ke kubalulekile grade 12 ukuthi siwabheke lama-valley winds ethu uma enzakala, siwabheke ngama-sources, siwabheke ngama-diagrams ukuthi i-direction yawo ihamba kanjani and ayenzakala nini, ebusuku noma emini. Qale nge-anabatic wind. I-anabatic wind grade 12 uma ubheke laphayana kule diagram yakho yokuqala uzobona ukuthi kunelanga laphayana and kunama-arrows abheke phezulu. Nansi i-valley yakho iphansi, so ne-base laphayana and then phezulu ne-atmosphere. So leli langa leli liyasho phela ukuthi lento iyenzakala during the day, and during the day siyazi ukuthi kuyashisa, and makushisa umoya uyarise uya phezulu. So lowo moya-ke lo riseayo uya phezulu sokubiza nge-anabatic wind. Uma ubheke enye i-diagram ka-right wakho Nalo moya lo owenzakala ebusuku nansa inyanga siyayibona. Uma ubheka la kunama arrows abheke phansi asho ukuthi lama arrows umoya uyasinda umoya obandayo. And umoya obandayo usually ujwayele ukwenzakala ebusuku. So lo moya lo the moment uwehla kanje lapha ezansi uyokhoza i-frost pockets. Then lo moya siubiza ngani ke grade 12 siubiza nge-katabatic winds. Now, asibheka ama-effects of ama-katabatic winds kwi-settlement indawo esihlala kuyona. Ama-anabatic winds since enzakala emini la kunelanga khona, since umoya usuke urise, so uyasiza nje lo moya ukuthi urelease i-pollution le esuke ikhona. Let's say mhlawumbe kunama-factories around, lawo ma-factories lawo akhipha i-smoke, so leso smoke leso ngeke sibe trapped la kwi-valley, instead sizonyuka up the valley, sizonyuka up the slope siye phezulu. Asibheka ama-effects of i-katabatic wind kwi-settlement. I-katabatic winds yona ke since iyenzakala ebusuku grade 12, into eyenzayo i-trapper le pollution le esuka phi le pollution isuka lapha kuma-factories, smoke esireleasewa ama-factories nama-big firms. I-katabatic winds ebusuku iletha umoya obandayo, so ama-temperatures azodropha la kwi-valley. Then also i-katabatic wind will develop into esiyibiza nge-thermal belts. Njengo-grade 12, u-grade 12 wethu kumele uwazi ukuthi sichaza ukuthini uthi masithi i-thermal belts. I-thermal belts ile zone le ibhande, i-zone of warmer temperature above the valley, so ibhande elisuke lilapha yana phakathi kwi-valley ikhozwa yini grade 12? Subsidence lapha phezulu kwi-valley nalo moya lo osuke ulanga ezansi usuke ushisa onyukayo, and then bese ufoma leli bhande leli silibiza nge-thermal belts. Asibheka ama-impacts of i-inversion layer. Grade 12 la sine-source, sine-diagram la phansi, you will notice ukuthi kunama-factories, and lama-factories lawa akhipha i-smoke. Ma esikhipha lesi smoke isizoya phezulu, but for the fact that khona lento elapha phezulu esibiza nge-inversion layer noma i-warm thermal belt, lesa smoke lesana sizoba trapped. Why sibe trapped? It's because of umoya lapha yana phezulu usuke ubanda, une-strong subsidence, so faka i-pressure ufakela ucindezela lo moya lo oshisayo osuke ulapha in between osuke ukade urisile during the day. Kahle kahle grade 12 this whole situation yenzakala during the night, so you can see ukuthi sekune band lapha ibhande nje of warm air elitraphekile, litrapha umoya obandayo osuka lapha phezulu, umoya osuke ulanga ezansi kwale band. Then again asibheka ama-effects of i-warm thermal belts lekade siyibona lapha kwi-diagram kwi-settlement and i-farming. So grade 12 kwi-exam yakho bengathi give the effects of thermal belts on settlement and farming. So what do you do? Ngoba ngihlale ngisho nje u-underline izinto eziwu-2 lapha, underline ama-effects then u-underline settlement and farming together. So abheka ukuthi maphi lawo ma-effects that affects settlement and farming in the valley. Number 1, people will build their houses halfway up the slope, bengazakhi lapha ezansi, so nje bazozakha lapha phakathi nendawo kwi-slope lapha kwi-valley yakho. Then again ama-crops they need, siyazi ke grade 12 especially nje abantu abenza life science, siyazi ukuthi ama-crops adinga indawo efudumele e-warm, that is frost free condition. Then also if sikhuluma mhlawumbe ngalawo ma-plants lawo singakhuluma ngezinto enjengo-sugar cane ezidinga ilanga khona zikhule kahle. So i-situation ke of ama-settlement grade 12 izoba phakathi nendawo lapha kwi-valley yakho yobade sikhombisa ekuqaleni. Then ama-farmers azokhetha ukwakha kephi, ukuyenza kephi insimu yabo, bazokhetha ukuyakha also phakathi nendawo babalekela ini izinto ekuthiwa ama-frost pockets ngoba iwona adamage ama-plants. Asibheke ama-effects of frost pockets on settlement. Ama-frost pockets grade 12 ayenzakala lapha ezansi kuthiwa ama-droplets asuke ebanda, so iy'tshalo ey'ningi ayikwazi ukusurvive kulawo ma-conditions. So abheke lama-effects of frost pockets on settlement and farming. Number one, crops that can withstand cold conditions can be planted. So engatshala ama-plants la angakwazi ukumelana nokubanda. Maphi-ke lawo ma-plants grade 12, izinto ey'njengama-potatoes, izinto ey'njengama-grapes ungay'tshala lapha ngoba ziyakwazi ukumelana nokubanda. Then also any effects of frost pockets on settlement and farming would be pollution, lokhu kungcola lokhu. Pollution izobambeka-ke in cold air ngaphansi kwe-temperature inversion ebusuku more especially. Asibheke i-aspect. I-aspect ka-grade 12 sibize nge-slope aspect. So i-slope aspect grade 12 asikwazi ukusidefine laphayana kwi-exam asesifikile. Sazi nje ukuthi sidefine kanjani. And then also imaphi ama-slope esidila ngawo la eSouth Africa. Ayebe mabili-ke ama-slopes esidila ngawo la eSouth Africa. Kube south facing slope ne-north facing slope. Now, i-aspect si-refer to ini-ke, si-refer to as the direction in which the slope is facing. So if indawo is facing the north, sibiza nge-north facing slope. If indawo is facing south, then sibiza nge-south facing slope, depending ukuthi ilanga likephi. Now, la main focus yethu ke grade 12 sizofocusa nje kuma influence with how aspects influence the temperatures of north and south facing slopes in the southern hemisphere. Remember ke grade 12 bengakutricka bevele befake isituation yangale enorthern hemisphere. Uzobe usuwenze njani ke manje? Ilanga enorthern hemisphere liphuma ka south, kanti la eSouth Africa kwi-southern hemisphere ilanga liphuma enorth. So asibe careful ukuthi question bayiphrase ebathini ngoba bayathanda ukustricka. Now, la sizobheka ukuthi how slope aspects influence ama-temperatures of north and south facing slopes in the southern hemisphere. Then again, asibheke ukuthi how is the sun's rays affects ama-slopes ke manje in temperatures la e-southern hemisphere. Okay, now kwi-north facing slopes grade 12. North facing slope sisuke sibhekene nelanga, siqondene nelanga directly. So which means sinama rays esiwathola directly from the sun astrikeayo into our area. So which means leyo nto izokwenza iy'ndawo zethu zifudumale. And what time la esichuza khona ukwakha kuma north facing slopes? Siyasibheke phela ama seasons anjengo winter ukuthi okay, during winter uma south facing slopes ilanga alifiki that much, so which means indawo yethu izohlezi ibanda. So instead asihambe silapha kuma north facing slopes so that sizothola ukushisa enough okusuka directly from the sun. Sibheke i-south facing slope. I-south facing slope yona receiver into esibiza ngokuthi ama-indirect sun rays from the sun, making those areas zibande. So which means sisithola ukushisa okubizwa ngokuthi ama-oblique, so akukho direct, instead kuza from the side. Asibheke ama-slope aspects ke manje siwabheke as if siwathola kwi-exam grade 12. La ngikwenzele i-diagram ye-valley. It's a valley climate. La ngafaka u-south facing slope, ngafaka u-north facing slope. And uma ubheka lapha phezulu grade 12, sinelanga lapha yana, and uzoyishola wena-ke uthi okay, now if ngifuna ukwakha lana and ngifuna ukureceive ilanga enough, since mhlambe ngizoba ne-farm noma mhlambe ngizowakha yiphi indawo engizoyichoose ke between these two, i-south facing slope noma i-north facing slope? Obviously abantu bazochoose ukwakha kephi ngala ka left, which means bazobhekana ngqo nelanga bethola ama-direct sun rays. But now if bechoose ukwakha ngala ka south facing slope, which is north, la abezulithola ilanga noma ukushisa okwanele njengoba bengishilo ekuqaleni. Even if ufuna ukwenza farm yakho kuzomela ube nama-plants or ama-crops ozomele ukuthi uwatshale lana ngoba amanye ama-crops awakwazi ukumelana nama-cold conditions. So planta ama-crops such as ama-grapes, such as ama-potatoes. So you can see here la grade 12 with south facing slope ukuthi yes we get ama-direct sun rays. Number 1 la there's a heat, it heats on the smaller surface, and then number 3 therefore the slope it becomes warmer, so which means siyafudumala. Ngale kuma south facing slopes grade 12 ila receiver khona into esibiza ngane ngama oblique sun rays. So into oblique into etshekile, so it's tilted, so ayikho ayiqondile, so ayifani nakephi nakwi north facing slope. Now la there will be a heat, so it will hit on a larger area, surface area, then therefore the slope kwa south facing slope will then be cooler. Now grade 12 ngikwenzele i-activity lana ke ukuthi just nje sibheke ukuthi ama questions we-exam mhlambe aphuma kanjani ke. So if you can see lapha yana grade 12 ngifake i-diagram. Le diagram le ino A ino B. So u-A wami you can see ukuthi umoya is rising, uyanyuka umoya wami, and omunye uye on the side uyanyuka. So here I have warm air rising. That slope B. Slope B, you can notice la under C ukuthi khona iband lapha yana ehamba across the valley, and kumele siyazi grade 12 ukuthi yini leya band. Then sinomoya la emasayidini owehlayo. So lo moya owehlayo uzokhumbula ke grade 12 ukuthi le situation yenzakala nini? Yenzakala ebusuku. So you have cold air sinking, ushona phansi. Okay, grade 12, as-answerishe le activity ke nje ngokukhulu ukushesha ngoba izosisiza kwi-exam. Now number 1 wethu grade 12 la. Let's name the valley winds depicted in A and B. Bathi yisho umoya okhonjiswe la ka A naka B. So yimuphi lowo moya ke olapha ka A? Umoya oka A sobiza ama-anabatic wind because it's rising, uyanyuka. Umoya oka B grade 12 sobiza ngama-katabatic winds because uhamba down the slope. So omunye ke grade 12 ungaze uyixake kakhulu. Yabo nje lapha ka A ngasho ukuthi it's upslope wind. It's okay, kulungile akunankinga. Suke correct ngoba usebenza nge-evidence oyibonayo. But back in your mind you know exactly ukuthi it's anabatic wind. Then la ka B, u-B i-katabatic wind kodwa ungasho ukuthi futhi it's a downslope wind noma uthi it's a gravity wind. Imarker ke lapha kwi-marking center will understand ukuthi lena ine-information iyayazi into ekhulumayo. Okay, now number 2 states one advantage of the wind labeled A. Sambise lapha ku-A asibheke grade 12 ama-arrows ukuthi ahamba kanjani. Lama arrows lawa you can see ukuthi ayanyuka. Ezenyuka which means akhipha lo moya lo osuke ula kwi-base la kwi-valley floor ayawunyusa awisa phezulu. Now you may find ukuthi mhlambe kunama-factories lapha. If kunama-factories, since akhipha lesi smoke azokhipha le pollution ekhiphele ngaphandle. So i-answer ke grade 12 which states one advantage of wind labeled A, but it can carry pollution, out of the valley, so ikhipha ngaphandle. Number 3, name the layer C. So siubonile ke uC ukuthi sine band of thick layer nansi lapha yana ihamba in between, ihamba between the base level lapha nalapha kwi-atmosphere phezulu lapha. So le band yethu ke sibiza ngani ke grade 12? Sibiza nge-inversion layer or thermal belt. Okay, number 4, explain how the wind labeled influence. Chaza ukuthi i-wind labeled u-B nangu u-B lapha yana inamiphi imthelela lapha kwi-farming in the valley. Number 1, inamiphi imthelela lapha yana kwi-valley. So number 1 wethu-ke u-A wethu-ke sizothini-ke lapha grade 12. Winds bring cold air into the valley. So sishilo-ke sathi u-B situation yasebusuku. Isimo sasebusuku le. So these winds azoletha umoya obandayo. Then again into ongayisho mhlambe lapha ngathi lo moya futhi ukhoza i-frost pockets to form. And i-frost pockets grade 12 ifomeka lapha kwi-base lapha ezansi kwi-valley floor. And then again ngasho futhi grade 12 ukuthi the frost can kill ama-crops. Siyazi ukuthi imapha ama-crops angamelana nokubanda angamelana nokushisa. So ama-crops angamelana nokubanda izinto ey'njengama-potatoes nama-grape. Now, and then again explain how the wind label B influence number 2 industry in the valley. So yona-ke ingaba namuphi umthelela-ke kuma-industries ma-valley. Mbula-ke grade 12 ukuthi umoya uma usuka lapha kuma-factories uzama ukunyuka laphayana phezulu ufike ube trapped ngoba phela sekukhona leya band leyana-ke of thick layer. So ipushwa i-subsidence, strong subsidence from lapha phezulu in the atmosphere. So kuzokwenzakalani-ke ama-cold conditions azokwenza kube nzima ukuthi kusebenzeke lapha kuma-industries ngoba phela umoya shuthi usucirculate around leya mbobo le esilaphayana esicreate yini ama-valley. So this will make ama-working conditions much difficult. Then again mhlambe ungasho ukuthi pollution produced by ama-factories, ama-industries lawa alapha phakathi nendawo azoba trapped lapha kwi-valley. So uma ese-trapped-ke uzokhumbula-ke grade 12 ukuthi abanye abantu banama-sinus. So uma une-sinus kuzoba nzima ukuthi uphefumule. So ama-respiratory problems lawo. Kuzoba nzima ukuthi uphefumule since umoya is circulating, i-pollution is circulating around loya C loya phansi ka-C. So grade 12 ama-possible answer-ke lawa-ke engiwenzile for nina. As you can see, A, anabatic winds, upslope wind, B, katabatic wind, noma downslope wind, gravity wind. Then number 2 laphayana say ama-valleys, noma anabatic winds, ingakhipha umoya ukhiphela ngaphandle of the valley because leya moya osuke ungcolile. Then sathi yiphi leya layer le etholakala phakathi nendawo in between ama-valleys sathi invasion layer noma singayibiza nge-thermal belts. Then number 4 say winds can actually bring cold conditions into the valley. Then saphinde sathi these winds caused frost pockets to form. Ama-cold conditions lawa asuke ngaphansi lapha the base of the floor. Sathi futhi the frost can kill ama-crops. Saphinde sathi ama-cold condition they make ama-working conditions very difficult in the industries. Then lastly sathi pollution produces by ama-industries will be trapped, noma it will be trapped in the valley. So ama-answers ethu-ke grade 12 lawa kade siwa-explaina lawa kade siwasho nje ekuqaleni. Asibheke i-city climate. I-city climate grade 12 ngiye ngithande ukuthi uma siyenza sicabange i-urban settlement. And yiphi le part i-urban settlement esiyicabangayo? Urban profile. La sibheka the side view of the urban area, not of the city as such, but i-urban area yonke kusukela ngale kwi-rural urban fringe kuze kuyofika ngale ekugcineni la kunama-heavy industries. Now, la i-main focus yethu city climate sizobheka nje lama-urban areas which are cities that experience different climates as compared to ama-surrounding areas. Njengoba ngishilo nje ekuqaleni ngathi sibheka yonke indawo from ngale la kuney'hlahla khona silapha kwi-CBD sekwi-transition zone sehle silaphana kuma-suburban shopping centers sehle size sifike lapha kuma-suburban office park. So sibheka nje ukuthi ama-differences asinama-differences in temperatures la kule city profile. Then also sizobheka i-formation of a heat island over the city. Our main focus here sizobheka ama-causes of i-city island. Then now, i-city island as a concept si-define kanjani-ke grade 12 mase sifika kwi-exam room. La sithi nje it's when the city has warmer temperatures than the surrounding rural areas. Yabona-ke grade 12 ukuthi sesithatha yonke indawo manje. Sithatha indawo from the cities, sithatha indawo from the rural areas, or sithatha nje from the urban areas and the rural areas. Now, kwi-exam bazothini-ke? Kwi-exam kungenzeka grade 12 ukuthi bekubuze ukuthi how the temperature change as you move towards the center of the city. So ishintsha kanjani i-temperature uma usuka ngale kuma-rural areas uya kwi-city center. Sibheke-ke la senze i-urban heat profile, then again sine-diagram laphayana esuka kuma-rural areas up to ama-urban settlements, up to ama-urban areas. And you can see here ukuthi ne-rural area sinama-suburban residents, sinama-commercial, sine-CBD phakathi nendawo, sinama-urban residential areas which are transition zones, sinama-parks lapha amapaki, then bese kuba ngala eceleni kwethu sibe nama-suburban residents. So eceleni kuma-vertical axis grade 12 ngifake i-temperature-ke isuka ku-23 ya ku-28, and uzonothisa-ke grade 12 la ukuthi i-temperature yala kuma-rural areas is so low. Yindaba ibe low? It's because ilanga malifika lapha liba trapped, yatrapeka incane i-reflection esuka kuma-plants iya phezulu back to i-atmosphere. So as siqala-ke manje siba nama-buildings amaningi, you can see now ukuthi i-temperature is starting to increase. Iyaqala iyanyuka manje sithi 24 degrees, it is 25 degrees. But if you notice lapha phezulu-ke part nendawo la esine-CBD khona, esine-city center khona, i-temperature yakhona isishuthile yaya phezulu eyofika ku-27.5. Then siyaqala iyehla-ke ngala as uqala ungena kwi-transition zone kuma-urban residential areas, iyaqala iyehla, and then you will notice ukuthi la okunama-parks khona grade 12 i-temperature yakhona isiyehlile futhi yafika ku-24 degrees. But la okunama-buildings iyaqala manje iyanyuka-ke manje, as you can see cishe ifike ku-24 degrees, iphinde iyehle again towards your right ngoba leyo ndawo isiqala iba ama-rural areas. So it's important grade 12 ukwazi zonke lezi zinto, nanokuthi maphi ama-reasons alidela ukuthi i-temperature of the city ibe so high compared to ama-rural areas. So let's just highlight nje kancane nje grade 12 ukuthi the reason why i-CBD i-temperature yakhona is so high even during the night ebusuku is because kunama-artificial surfaces laphayana, kunama-tall buildings. So ilanga malifika lifike li-strike kulama-buildings amade, then bese li-reflector back. Will remember-ke la kuma-terrestrial grade 12 terrestrial radiation kalapha grade 11 siwafunda ukuthi la it's whereby ilanga li-bounce back from the earth's surface, yabo, bese libuyela back to the atmosphere. So la in this case lizo-bounce back kuma-buildings-ke manje. And you will remember grade 12 ukuthi once ilanga la-bounce-ke manje lashaya i-surface labuyela emuva, ila suke selishisa khona kakhulu as opposed to ilanga ebelisuka directly from the actual sun. So now noma the heat that actually comes from the direct rays from the sun. So la the cause of the heat is through ama-tall buildings, is through ama-artificial surfaces, and then it's through ama-tar roads la asuke ekhona laphayana kwi-CBD. And then again grade 12 asangakubuza-ke phela manje ukuthi what can you do, ungenze njani-ke manje to cap, minimize i-urban heat profile? Usungasho-ke manje ukuthi grade 12 you can even plant, but you can have vegetation, you have grass, you can have grass lapha kuma-rooftops, utshani lapha phezulu, so that ilanga lizothi kuba trapped kancane, so that mase bounce back lingeze kuba nakho lokho kushisa okukhulu okuzokhoza i-urban heat island yakho ukuthi ibe steep kakhulu. Now, asibheke i-pollution dome grade 12. So i-pollution dome ke yona siyasibheke kanjani ke grade 12 mase sibheke nje le diagram yami ngiyenzile lana. I have i-air temperature la ka left wami, ngine temperature profile lapha phezulu, and then ngine airflow and i-pollution. So i-airflow ikhonjiswa ngama-arrow ke lana, i-pollution yami yo wonke lama dots lawa, and le pollution le kungaba pollution from the cars. Siyazi ukuthi imoto zisebenzisa upetrol and ikhipha ismoke. Pollution can be from the factories. Pollution can be from i-random fire lemlilo esiwenzayo. And you will remember ke mawubhekisisa kahle grade 12 lapha yana kukhonjiswa i-urban area, then kwase kukhonjiswa ama-suburban either shopping center or residential areas, and you can see la under ama-suburbs ukuthi kuneyihlahla ezincane, bafake nje batshale izihlahla ezincane. La kuma-rural areas izihlahla zisuke nje ziningi, zisuke zidominated. Into esiyibhekayo ke la grade 12 sibheka ukuthi i-pollution iba kangakanani, especially during the day and then during the night. Sizoyibona during the night ukuthi yenzakala kanjani, but during the day pollution yethu iyenzakala kanjena ke. Kwi-CBD, i-CBD ikhipha i-pollution eningi more than any other place around. So you can see la ukuthi i-temperature yakhe, i-air temperature yakhe iyashutha iyaphezulu. Why? It's because of the radiation. Okokuqala nje i-radiation, the heat bouncing, it bounces back from the actual buildings, smoke from the cars, pollution from the factory. So ukushisa kuyanyuka, so it's more within i-CBD. But as you go towards your right, uhambe ka right, la sesiqala khona sesiba nama-suburbs, and nama-suburbs aneyihlahla, at times anama-park. So i-temperature ke will start to decrease. Izoqala manje iqale iyehle, then uma ubheka futhi nakuma-rural areas, then again i-temperature yakho iyehla ke. Remember grade 12 i-situation yasosukwini during the day. Then asibheke i-situation yasebusuku ukuthi kwenzakala kanjani ke. Nansi i-pollution dome yasebusuku. Now grade 12, before we can go any further nje, cela sibheke i-pollution dome yethu ukuthi iyalingana yini na, ayilingani. Eyasebusuku uzobona ukuthi i-trapped, so which means khona i-subsidence esiyenzakalile lapha yana isiphansi, kanti eyasebusuku inkulu yinde. So it tells you, it goes to show ukuthi umoya wakho is free to rise. I mean, now asibheke i-situation yasebusuku ke grade 12. Now then again ne-CBD lapha yana une-city, une-urban area, and ukushisa kwakho nakho kuhamba lapha yana phezulu. So lokho ukushisa kwakho is now been omitted, noma ukhishwa. So ukhishwa lama buildings lawa, ayakunyusa lama buildings lawa ukushisa, then bese create-eka into ekuthiwa yini, i-dome. And then uma ubheka ngala ka right wakho naka left wakho futhi la une-vegetation khona, uneyihlahla, ukushisa is not so much, kuncane kakhulu. That is why kubanda most of the time. Siye sizoye nasi lento grade 12 nje uma sihambela nje mhlambe abuhamba mhlambe eGoli, noma mhlambe uhambe eCape Town or even eThekwini uya kwi-city center, ukuthi lapha sinama buildings kuye kube nokushisa nje, and uyibuza ukuthi lokho kushisa kuqhamukaphi. So lokho kushisa kusuke ku-trapped during the day, bese ukuthi ebusuku bese kuyareleaseka. But uma uhamba endaweni mhlambe e-flat ene-vegetation eneyihlahla, uzozwa ukubanda, kuyabanda kuleyo ndawo, because ayikho into esikhipha lokho kushisa, akukho ukushisa okutrapekile kuma-buildings. Siyesizwe even nalento grade 12 masihlalele nje ekhaya, mhlambe uma uhlezi ekhaya during the day ilanga listrike lapha kwilento endlini yakini, indlu iyashisa, then ebusuku-ke mhlambe mase kubanda uzolizwa futhi nalolu donga mhlambe mawubeka isandla sakho noma ihlathi sakho, uzoyizwa lento ukuthi no, you know what, lolu donga lolu lisashisa. So i-heat esuke i-trapped during the day. Okay, now let's look at some factors that cause i-heat island. Ama-factors, number 1, it will be artificial surface. Ama-artificial surface asuke akhiwe abantu. Ama-surfaces like such as ama-tar roads, enzani ama-tar roads absorb more heat. awafani nama-gravel roads. Then another factor would be, we're looking at the surface area, we're looking at the size of the buildings. Let's add to the surface area. Ngoba wona anama-greater areas, aney'ndawo ezinkulu eziningi, so there will be more heat is actually absorbed. So ukushisa kuzobambeka kakhulu. Then sibheke futhi enye factor that cause i-heat island kuzoba i-pollution. I-pollution-ke siyazi ukuthi isukaphi-ke grade 12. So ezisinama-factories amaningi ney'moto ey'ningi zenzani lezo y'moto nama-factories are-release more pollution le ezoba trapped laphayana phezulu, especially at night. Then any factor that cause heat island will be artificial heat sources, not from the sun. Lezi zinto suke zakhiwe abantu. Iziphi lezi zinto esiyibiza ngama-artificial heat sources? Khuluma phela ngama-factories, cars, and even air conditioners, which will release heat into the air. Now, what grade 12 kuye kube nama-paragraph questions ke ukuthi, you know what, now that you have learned, usufundile ama-urban heat island, ukhuluma nge-pollution dome, ukhuluma nge-situation eyenzakala ebusuku, eyenzakala emini. Asize nama-sustainable ways to reduce the urban heat island. Iziphi indlela ongafika nazo wena ongayicabanga ukuthi zingehlisa ukushisa lokho kukhoza i-heat island? Number one, singathi asipromote ama-green belts. Ama-green belts sikhuluma izinto ey'ngamapaki, izinto ey'njengama-sports field esiye sizakhe just outside of i-city center. Asipromote nje ukutshala kwey'hlahla, grade 12. So that will actually, iy'hlahla siyazi-ke ukuthi iy'hlahla they absorb carbon dioxide bese i-release i-oxygen. So asiwapromote ama-green belts. Then any effects ongayifaka grade 12 will be, he will plant more trees in the city and then to increase the vegetation cycles by planting manje lapha phezulu kuma-rooftops wenze into ekuthiwa ama-rooftop garden. Siyibone nje especially kulama-city lawa asanda kwakhiwa, ama-city anjengo-Sandton. So ko-Sandton ama-buildings most yawo to prevent i-urban heat island bajwayele ukufaka ama-garden, ama-rooftop gardens, befake utshani noma befaka iy'hlahla nje lezi ey'ncane to beautify the place as well as to cap the heat island. Then again, the new buildings should not be built in materials like glass or any reflecting materials. Lokho-ke sithi ukuphikisana ngakho grade 12 ngoba ama-buildings amanje, so uyahamba emhlanga, uyahamba eSandton, uzothola ama-buildings akhona most yawo akhiwe ngama-glass. So asikupromote grade 12 lokho, yize kuhle but now asikupromote ukuthi kwakhiwe because kuba ne-reflection eningi. So le reflection eningi le iyona ezokhoza i-dome, i-urban heat. And then now, sustainable ways to reduce i-urban heat island also kuzoba the heights of our buildings should have a limit. In the spiksana futhi nalokho grade 12 ukuthi governments of states, ohulumeni nje beyindawo bamazwe babe promote ukwakhiwa kwama-skyscrapers, ama-skyscrapers lama-buildings lawa amade. So ngokwakha kwabo-ke amalento ama-skyscrapers is actually kulento ukureduce ama-cost of building and wasting the land that is around. So siyasiphikisane kakhulu grade 12 kulama-heights of the buildings that should actually be limited. Okay, now another sustainable measure esingayifaka grade 12, singaba mhlambe nemithetho-ke manje ezoforce ama-factories ukuthi ehlise i-smoke, i-amount of smoke being produced. And then siphinde si-encourage people, abantu ukuthi besebenzise i-public transport. Siyasipromote izinto ezinjengalezi-ke grade 12. Siyasipromote izinto enjengey'timela lezi ehamba ngogesi, njenge-Gautrain, but most ey'timela la eSouth Africa zihamba ngogesi. But siyazi ukuthi speed awanazo. So if ufuna ukuya emsebenzini ngokukhulu ukushesha, then you have to ukuthi uthole izitimela enjengama-Gautrain. So we need to have ama-Gautrain as such rapid transport which sifake into place. And then also siphinde sipromote ukwakhiwa kwey'moto ey'hamba ngogesi esiyibiza ngama-hybrid cars. So seziyaqala bayaqala ukuyi-introduce-ke manje la eSouth Africa iy'moto ey'hamba ngogesi. So you need to charge it egaraji, not ekhaya. We charge egaraji, fake lo gesi ofakayo, and then bese uyahamba. So that will actually limit pollution in the city. So that will actually limit moya to being polluted. Then another sustainable strategy esingasifaka, kumele sipromote ama-lift clubs to work or to school. Siklabhe masihlala ngandawonye sisebenza endaweni eyodwa, singaklabha and then ukuthi sisebenzise iy'moto ey'ningi. So masisebenzisa iy'moto ey'ningi besikhoza i-pollution in the area. So grade 12 ilokho esiniphathele khona-ke kwanamhlanje. Siyabonga ngesikhathi senu, nisinifisela okuhle ngama-trial examinations nama-final examinations ase-around the corner. Remember, ngakutshela ukuthi kumele uchoose maphi ama-sections. Ngathi nje mina ama-learners ami aqala ngo-section B most of the time. So section B bayazi ama-learners ami ukuthi ane-urban settlement, ane-economic geography, question 3 and question 4. Then bese uthi question 1 ngalana, section A, question 1 and question 2, climatology and geomorphology. So asikustudishe very carefully, but le information nje nginginikeze yona namhlanje, you should be able, noma kanjani, should be able ukuthi uphase. Ngiyabonga kakhulu grade 12 until kuzobe isikhathi esizayo.
Siyathemba nifunde kahle nasithokozela isifundo sethu sanamhlanje enisethulelwe ngezidlokotho ezinhle Ithala libambisene neGo Digital SA Foundation. Thamelani ke futhi esilandelayo ngesikhathi esifanayo, ningakhohlwa ukumema nabanye abafundi bebanga le-12 ukuze nabo basizakale kulolu hlelo. Uma ninemibuzo noma nifisa ukuxhumana nathi, ningasithinta ngokufaka imibuzo yenu kwinombolo yethu ye-WhatsApp ethi 068 151 1072. Mfundi, ungakhohlwa ukubhala isifundo obuza ngaso ngaphambi kokubhala umbuzo wakho. Angiyiphinde inamba yethu 068 151 1072. Siyabonga.